Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report with the Raiders news and honestly the Patriots news that you need to see today. I'm going to kick this thing off right away and we're going to talk about Jacobe Meyers and the latest going on around him. He said today that he believes that he has played well enough and he deserves a contract extension. And one of the things and one of the reasons why I just respect Jakobi so much is because he literally said that he didn't hold out. He didn't do a lot of the other shenanigans that a lot of other players that are just as good, if not, worse than he is. He didn't do that because he didn't want to do that to his teammates. I mean, that is literally the personification of what commitment to excellence is and having your brother's back. Also, Meyers, in terms of the extension talks, you could tell today he was a little bit frustrated, but he literally said, quote, "I ain't tripping." And maybe, Jacoby's almost like too friendly. He's almost like too honest, where he essentially said today that he's going to go out there and he's going to play football. He's going to let, the things that he can control, he's going to control those. Everything else, is kind of up for grabs. But he did say that he would be happy playing literally anywhere in the NFL. But you can tell that he wants to be a Raider and he wants to take care of his family. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to blame anybody for trying to take care of their own. I'm not going to blame anybody for trying to take care of their family. And I'm not going to blame anybody for trying to go get the money that they feel like that they deserve. So also the latest going on around Jakobi was, he requested that trade on Monday. It was August 25th. And he said this and he laughs. And I'm kind of laughing, when I'm saying it, because Jakobi basically was like, I asked, they said no. That's where that stopped. It kind of reminded me of, as a kid, I would tell my dad, "Hey, Dad, can I go do X, Y, Z?" And he would just say no. I didn't ask why, because the answer was no. Now, with my mom, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I might have asked why once or twice. But ultimately, I think yet again you are seeing Jakobi essentially ask for that trade because he wants to get that contract extension. We'll see how this kind of goes throughout the remainder of the season. But the good news, I would say Jakobi is going to be out there playing week one. I would say he's going to be as focused as humanly possible at the task at hand. I know there were some question marks regarding whether or not he was going to play, but if Jakobi didn't make you feel a little bit more confident about how everything's going down today, again, I have the utmost respect for Jacobe Meyers. So my question here to the nation, this is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Should the Raiders extend Jacobe Meyers? Type extend or type pass? Let me know down below. My answer coming up here after this YouTube ad break. I will not blame certain people for saying, Mitch, if he's okay playing on his current deal, let him play on his current deal. I don't think that he's good with it. I think that he's just man enough and, kind of willing to be like, all right, not everything's going to go the way that you want it to go in life. And if the bad part of my life is me making, $14 million this season, I think he's taking it like a champ and he's taking it on the chin. But again, to me, everything Jacobe Meyers said today, everything that's going on in the NFL in today's day and age with star players wanting to sit out, I don't know how you don't extend them, and I'll just keep on saying it over and over again. To me, you can extend them whether it's a 3-year extension, whether you want to give them a 2-year extension. If you just want to say, hey, I'm going to give you a raise for this upcoming season, I think all of those options make sense. And if you want to go check out the videos where I talk about that in a little bit more length and I literally outline a lot of the numbers, go on YouTube. There's a show called The Raiders Report. Look up Jacobe Meyers extension, Raiders Report, and all those numbers are going to pop up for you. If you want another video that I did, there's a video a little bit ago. It's called Win-Win Situation is the thumbnail. I did put it for you guys down in the comments and the description of today's show, where I outline all 3 of my contract extensions, but especially the raise. And that's why I want people to subscribe to the show. I know I've been talking a lot about Jakobi for weeks at this point. If you subscribe to the Raiders Report, you're going to become a smarter Raider fan, and I guarantee you're going to know more about the silver and black than any of your friends that are Raiders fans that do not watch this show. So guarantee it. Hit that sub button. All right, let's go now to just some of the takeaways that I had heard from, Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty, Geno Smith. They all talked to the media today. And then at the very end of today's show, I'll talk about the Patriots injury news, essentially, that's really, really important for us. First off, Pete Carroll takeaways. He's expecting a buckle your chin strap type of game. And that's exactly what it's going to be, right? When I talk to Brett Alper, and you'll see one of the videos that I put out tomorrow is my keys to victory. But if you watched on that Tuesday live show, that's what he also said was the number one key to victory in this game. It was set the tone. And this is going to be a tone-setting type of game for both head coaches. And for Pete, he's expecting that physical type of football game. He's expecting them to want to run the ball, and this game means a lot to Vrabel, but it also means a lot to Pete. Like, he was the head coach of the New England Patriots. I think oftentimes we forget about that. Sure, it was a long, long time ago, but I don't care. If you were a head coach of a team at one time, you feel a certain way, and that's probably been, the worst head coaching stint that Pete Carroll has had. Also, he did flat out say, going up against New England simply means more. And I know it means a lot to Pete. I know it means a lot to Tom Brady. And the Raiders better be ready to rock and roll at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. And if you don't already know, we're going to be live an hour before kickoff, so I better see you there. Some other things. He did say that Kyu Blu Kelly is going to be the starter at cornerback 2. Obviously, Eric Stokes is corner 1. He did say that he's dealing with a hamstring injury, though Kyu Blu did say that he's 100% healthy and he's ready to go. So, I think Pete's being a little bit more cautious. I also don't blame Kyu Blu Kelly for being as hyped up as he is. I mean, this is a dude that's been cut from multiple NFL teams. This is a player who's never made an NFL start before, and he's going to be able to start for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's also a Las Vegas native. To me, there's certain players that you absolutely have to root for, and Kyu Blu Kelly is going to be somebody that I root for. I just hope that he's up to the test, because we're going to get tested at every single cornerback spot. And if Kyu Blu is not 100% healthy, and, Pete also said that Darien Porter is going to be his backup, you're still going to see plenty of Porter, and there's going to be some mixing and matching going on in that entire secondary. But Pete Carroll had a lot of nice things to say about Kyu Blu, and he looks like he's healthy. Hopefully we get a good turnout there. All right, before I get into what Geno and Ashton Genty said today, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, PrizePicks, and I got a really cool lineup that I'm excited to show you guys. So this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Now, PrizePicks is really simple to play. You pick just 2 or 6 players, go more or less on those stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. PrizePicks is also the best way to get action in sports in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. If you want to see what I'm doing and I figured, today is Wednesday, for Thursday night football tomorrow, my lineup that I'm going with, they're giving you a freebie with Dak Prescott, half a passing yard. I took the more there. George Pickens, 55.5 receiving yards. They traded for him this offseason. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I do not think Dallas is going to win, so I'm thinking some garbage time receiving yards there for George Pickens. Took the more there. Looks like I just lost all the lights in my studio. This is what happens when Chugs is doing other stuff. All right, hang on a second here, guys. We're putting a little time out here. Also, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is going to be somebody that I'm really excited about as well. And I took the 17.5 fantasy score. I took the more there. I also did that, though, because I'm going up against 93 Nav Man. And I know Nav is sweating it that I got Barkley. Overall, though, I wanted to show you guys again, you can do the flex play. You can do the power play. It's one of the things that I love about PrizePicks. And if you plan on watching the game tomorrow with Jeremy and I, we will be going live. I want to say it's an hour and 20 minutes before kickoff. Hey, get a lineup in. It's going to be a lot of fun. So download the app today. Use code CLNS, that's CLNS, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. And I hope I'm right? All right, let's go to the next story here. It's going to be around Geno Smith. And he wants, how's a good way to put this? He literally said, quote, "We want to be that team with something to prove, and we have the right guys, so we'll be ready." I think Geno is just a really confident human being, and I think that this Raiders team is a lot more confident, and, they're a lot better than what the national media has to say. I mean, I was literally just looking at our Chat Sports Power Rankings before I did this show, and I saw the Raiders came in ranked at 24. The Patriots are at 22. I think that that's going to be very different after week 1. Geno said that he was a fan of Amari Cooper. He's been a fan of Amari for a while, and he's excited for Dante Thornton to be a starter. I talked about it earlier in the week about how Dante's going to get this featured role, and he is going to have a featured role. And he's going to be out there on the field a ton, and I really do think that fans are going to start to see how special that Dante Thornton is going to be. Don't forget about Trey Tucker. He's obviously going to get his work. He's going to be the main kick returner, punt returner here for the Las Vegas Raiders this season. So a lot of weapons out there for the Raiders. And this offense is going to be fun to watch. Speaking of the offense, Ashton Jeanty, he showed some love today to Raheem Mostert. And I had a conversation with a bunch of the guys here at Chat Sports about getting ready for the upcoming season. And, I'm the same way. Literally today I was prepping because I'm going to be live every Thursday night football, every Raiders game day. Let's say it's on Sunday. I'm going to be live Monday mornings for a little Raiders recap of the game. And then I'm going to be live Monday night football, Raiders, and on our main Chat Sports channel. And then I'll be live here again on that Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of time. I make that point because, I also have to prepare my mind, my body, and you got to take care of yourself during football season. And that's kind of what Jeanty was saying with Raheem Mostert of, Mostert was just talking about how it's so important to get your body right, to get your mind right. And I love that Jeanty is this humble superstar that, he's willing to learn from anybody. He's willing to be a sponge to anybody, and also huge credit to Raheem Mostert. Like, that's why they also brought him in. We talk a lot of times about bridge quarterbacks. Raheem Mostert, the veteran that he is, being able to be in the NFL for almost 10 years at the running back position, you draft a running back at 6 overall to get that type of longevity. So having Mostert in there really help out Jeanty was something that I like to see a lot. The last part here that I'm going to talk about is Christian Gonzalez and Stephon Diggs. So I was talking to our Patriots guy. If you didn't see Mike Vrabel's press conference today, it sounds like Stephon Diggs is trending in the right direction, and he's going to be out there week 1. Again, we're talking about an ACL surgery. They've been ramping him back up. The exact terminology that Vrabel uses, ramping up to week 1. And that's going to be the player that Eric Stokes is going to have to cover, and Eric Stokes really needs to win that matchup. That way, our nickel corner room, our big safeties, our cornerback too, that can be kind of mixed in, and that can create a little bit of confusion, which is what Patrick Graham is really good at. For Christian Gonzalez, he did not practice again today, and he is very much questionable for this game. I asked our Patriots guy, Brett, and I was like, where are you at? And he's like, 50% chance he plays, 50% chance he doesn't play. If I'm the Raiders, I'm going after him. And I'm not saying going after him with the football. I'm trying to go after him and stretch that field. And I'm going to see how healthy that hammy is. And I'm going to see, how much he can sprint. I'm going to do it every opportunity. I'm going to try to get Trey Tucker. I'm going to try to get Dante Thornton on him. But there is a real possibility that Christian Gonzalez, the New England Patriots' #1 corner and, quite frankly, their best defensive player, might not be ready to go. I think no matter what, he's not going to be 100% healthy, and I'm going to go after him. Before I get out of here today, I want to know who you guys got tomorrow. It's Thursday Night Football. Super excited that football is back. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I just think Philly's the more physical team, and, the Cowboys had a bad defense last season, and now they lost Micah. So high scoring game is what I anticipate. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles, and again, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure those notifications are turned on. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, here on The Raiders Report. If you're looking for even more videos around the silver and black, you can hit this subscribe button right here. I promise you, I got you covered. If you're looking for even more videos, YouTube's going to recommend this one. They're also going to recommend this one. But I want you to tell your friends, tell your Raiders fans, the more and more people we get here, the more crazy this show can be, and we're getting really close to 200,000 subs.